Hello friends, I am incredibly excited to explore a topic that is transforming religious communities in a way we've never seen before. Today, we read diving deep into how Gen Z is entering the Catholic Church and reshaping not only its culture, but also its intellectual identity, emotional landscape, and future direction. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your engagement helps us bring more thought-provoking content to you. Now let's jump straight into this fascinating discussion. 1. Gen Z and the identity of the traditional church. Gen Z is a generation raised in a digital environment, exposed to global ideas at a young age, and constantly filtering massive amounts of information. They are used to questioning everything, analyzing everything, and comparing multiple viewpoints before accepting anything as truth. Unlike previous generations, they don't visit a place of worship simply because family tradition says so. They want genuine meaning, intellectual honesty, and spiritual relevance. Traditional church identity, rooted in centuries of ritual and structure, is being challenged by Gen Z's demand for authenticity. They want historical explanations, philosophical foundations, and emotional depth wrapped into one coherent message. A prayer, a sermon, or a ritual must answer their deeper questions. Why do we do this? Where did this originate? How does this shape my personal life? This pressure is pushing the church toward a more thoughtful, research-based model of teaching. Pastors, teachers, and leaders are increasingly expected to provide context, cite sources, and connect ancient traditions with modern life. As a result, the church is gradually transforming from a purely traditional institution into a more intellectually interactive space where youth can explore faith through conversation, study, and community. 2. Online religious learning and digital preaching. Gen Z spends countless hours online, on YouTube, podcasts, discussion forums, and educational platforms. Instead of learning theology only in classrooms or Sunday sessions, they consume it through easily accessible online content. A complex philosophical idea that once needed a full course to understand is now explained in a 10-minute animated video. This shift has forced the church to rethink its communication methods. Sermons must be clearer, more organized, and backed with references. Digital preaching has become essential, allowing priests and scholars to communicate ideas visually and interactively. Online learning also democratizes religious education, meaning anyone, regardless of background, can learn theology at an advanced level. This has raised the intellectual expectations of young believers. They want the church to reflect the clarity, structure, and accessibility they already experience online. 3. Emotional openness and mental health awareness. One of the most significant changes Gen Z brings is emotional transparency. They are open about anxiety, stress, depression, trauma, and inner confusion. Instead of hiding emotions in silence, they want spiritual spaces where these feelings are acknowledged, validated, and understood. This trend has made mental health a central part of religious dialogue. Sermons now include discussions on emotional resilience, self-reflection, boundaries, self-worth, and healing. Priests and educators are expected to offer guidance supported by psychological insight, not just spiritual instruction. For the church, this means developing ministries and programs that support emotional well-being, counseling networks, safe discussion circles, reflective workshops, and guided meditation sessions. The outcome is a healthier, more balanced religious environment where emotional strength and spiritual growth work together. 4. Intellectual revival and a return to classical texts. Gen Z's curiosity has triggered a massive revival of classical Christian scholarship. They are not satisfied with simplified summaries or secondhand interpretations. They want to read Aquinas, Augustine, Origen, and early church fathers in their original form. This creates a new academic energy inside the church. Scholars are encouraged to revisit ancient manuscripts, refine translations, and produce fresh commentaries. Youth groups are beginning to resemble study circles, where participants debate philosophy, ethics, and theology. This renewed interest deepens the intellectual life of the church, ensuring that ancient wisdom is not only preserved, but actively explored and appreciated. 5. Evidence-based religious understanding. Gen Z values evidence, logic, and documented history. They expect religious teachings to withstand intellectual scrutiny. Simply stating, "This is our tradition," is no longer enough. This doesn't weaken faith, it strengthens it. When teachings are supported with references, historical context, and rational explanations, Gen Z becomes more confident in what they believe. The Church is responding by publishing more research, encouraging open discussion, and presenting doctrines in ways that align with modern intellectual standards. 6. Interfaith dialogue and global awareness. Living in a digital world means Gen Z interacts with people of every religion: Muslims, Jews, Protestants, Hindus, atheists, and more. They naturally develop respect through exposure. They don't see differences as threats but as opportunities to learn. This mindset is influencing the Church's approach to interfaith dialogue. There is pressure for transparency, openness, and honesty in discussions. Misunderstandings are being corrected through cooperation rather than isolation. This shift is paving the way for a more peaceful and informed global religious environment. 7. Media, short clips, and theological interpretation. Gen Z communicates through short videos, memes, and fast content. Because of this, religious ideas spread quickly, sometimes too quickly. A single clip of a sermon can go viral, influencing thousands who may not even know its full context. This means church leaders must craft messages that are not only clear but also resistant to misinterpretation. Short-form content is now a powerful tool for education, outreach, and community building, but it requires precision and responsibility. 8. Community structures, hybrid and mobile models. Traditional church membership relied heavily on physical attendance, but Gen Z lives in digital micro-communities. They form friendships and spiritual circles online, through group chats, live streams, and digital meets. The modern church is now experimenting with hybrid models, part physical, part digital. This allows young believers to stay connected regardless of location. It also keeps them engaged throughout the week instead of limiting participation to Sunday. 9. Leadership, transparency, and rethinking authority. Gen Z does not follow authority blindly. They expect leaders to explain decisions, show moral consistency, and communicate honestly. This has reshaped leadership standards in the Church. Transparency is now essential. Leaders must address concerns openly, discuss difficult topics responsibly, and demonstrate ethical behavior in their public and private actions. This builds trust and restores confidence among younger believers. 10. Expanded role of women and a balanced narrative. Women in Gen Z play a major role in shaping online discussions about theology, ethics, and spirituality. Their perspectives bring emotional intelligence, empathy, and nuance into conversations that were once dominated by a single voice. This diversity enriches the Church's intellectual environment, encouraging a more balanced and compassionate approach to teaching. 11. Psychology, doubt, and faith formation. Young people are highly introspective. They journal, reflect, meditate, and evaluate their inner world. Modern psychology has influenced how they understand doubt and faith. Instead of hiding doubt, they explore it. Instead of fearing uncertainty, they analyze it. This shift allows the Church to support believers in a healthier way, through grounded, emotionally aware guidance. 12. Moral decision-making in the age of information overload. With endless information at their fingertips, Gen Z processes morality differently. They combine reason, empathy, and real-world impact to make decisions. The Church now carries the responsibility to offer moral guidance that is clear, evidence-based, and applicable to modern challenges: technology, ethics, social justice, and global issues. 13. Reinterpreting symbols in modern digital culture. Religious symbols are finding new life through digital art, animation, and storytelling. A symbol that once seemed distant now becomes a powerful part of visual culture, explained through aesthetics that resonate with the younger generation. This revival makes ancient themes feel modern and emotionally relevant again. 14. Re-examining history with transparency. Gen Z studies history through multiple sources. They compare narratives, question inconsistencies, and demand honesty. This pushes religious institutions to re-evaluate how they teach historical events, acknowledging mistakes openly while highlighting lessons learned. This honesty strengthens credibility and fosters healthier engagement. 15. The intellectual future and the search for meaning. Gen Z is guiding the Church into a future that is more academic, more transparent, more globally connected, and more emotionally aware. The combination of ancient wisdom and modern language is shaping a deeper, richer understanding of spirituality. This transformation ensures that tradition remains meaningful and accessible for centuries to come. This was a comprehensive look at how Gen Z is reshaping the intellectual and cultural landscape of the Catholic Church. If you enjoyed this video, Make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next one.